A chance to go back?
No,
John?
yeah, they said I had no material. They said when you get some more material,
Yeah, of
you
course.
know, and I was frightened in those days, you know. So
Yeah.
I blame myself for not advancing as much as I should have.
Well, you dance very
But
well.
I've been all over the world. I worked with all the big stars. I worked with I even worked with the great Frank Sinatra. I opened for him
that's
because Tom Dreesen was his comedian, but Tom Dreesen wasn't available for these 2 dates I did with Frank Sinatra. I
Oh
couldn't
my
believe
God.
it, you know. And now I go backstage, and I was working South Carolina at the Azalea Festival
Oh,
with Frank Sinatra. The Azalea Festival, and everyone dressed like Gone with the Wind.
Oh, how nice.
That. And so now I want to meet Frank Sinatra. So I said to the agent, you know, his agent, I said, I'd like to meet Mr. Sinatra.
Of course.
He said, well, he doesn't come in until intermission. Oh, okay. So now they introduce me. I'm nervous. Okay. I do my 25 minutes, and there's monitors all over the place because this was at the end of his career. He didn't.
I saw him at the arena.
So
the arena.
I finished my act. Intermission. He comes in during intermission, goes to the dressing room, puts his tie on, goes on stage, sings his songs, My Way, off stage, limousine, airport, gone. So I said to him, I'd like to meet Mr. Sinatra. He is gone. That's it. So now I had another date with him. The next night we were going to work in the State Fair in Syracuse, New York.
Oh,
Okay? I'd like to meet Mr. Sinatra. He doesn't come in till intermission. Same thing. Same thing. I do my act. I'm off intermission. He comes on, sings his songs. After My Way, limousine, gone. I said, where's Mr. Sinatra? He is gone, and he never looked me in the eye. I never saw him. I have no publicity that I was working with. All they want to know is what Frank Sinatra, and that was my Frank Sinatra thing.
I have a Sinatra story. When I was in high school, and it was when Sinatra, we were teenagers with the Bobby Soxers and everything. And Bob Whiteman, who was the manager of the Paramount Theater in New York at that time, was a seasoned guest of ours. So he arranged for me to go to get, tickets to go up and see Sinatra. And afterwards, I went backstage because my mother was there with our golf pro at the time, Ross Sobel. And they had put up one of those big driving nets, and Ross was giving him a lesson. So we fast forward to when Mark left the hotel, and he had gone to work for Steve Wynn. And he called me and he said, I think you told me you were going to be in Chicago on such and such a date. I said, yes, I will be there for the Hotel Association. He said, we've taken over the pump room at the Drake for a high roller party, and I'd like you to come. I said, fine, whatever I have to do, take second place, anything to do with my kids. So we went, and we came down the hall, and Mark's staying there with 2 gentlemen. I hear him say, oh, here come 2 big high rollers. So then he introduces us, and he takes us and sits us down. We have a lovely table. At 8 o'clock, the lights dim in the room. The doors open, and there are Barbara and Frank Sinatra, and Elaine and Steve Wynn, and Mark. They escort the ladies to the table, and then they start to work the room. They stop at every table, take pictures, and so forth. So he said, they got to our table, and Mark said, I'd like you to meet Dr. and Mrs. Etess, my parents. And he was very nice. I said, well, Frank, you and I met many, many years ago when I was a Bobby Soxer and you were at the Paramount. And my mother, Jennie Grossinger, I said, she was backstage with the golf pro. He says, I remember that. I said, well, I have the picture. He says, let's have another picture tonight.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, he was very nice.
Oh, nice.